Hello everyone, my name is Allison King and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that I'm totally stoked about. I made up this tag like a year ago and I just thought this would be the perfect time because it had a lot of questions and it was like, why not? And if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, well, basically we had a couple like Comic-Con like things in Kansas City and one had some Once Upon a Time, well, at least one of them, actor, and it was the guy who played Jiminy Cricket, who his name is Raphael. So I, of course, being the fanatic that I am, I have watched season after season. It's like, okay, if there were any show that was like a book, I would say Once Upon a Time is, and if you haven't seen it, I mean, I would be surprised, but you should watch it. So I decided to go as my favorite character who left the show, but I guess is now coming back, which is Red Riding Hood or Ruby. And I don't really know if you can see my costume very well, but I hope you can. It's actually made by one of my family members. And can I do the hood? I even tried to comb my hair a little bit for this, but my makeup is all packed for the trip. Oh my god, it's in my face. Well, I hope you enjoy this. Basically, the idea of this tag, it's an original tag, is that I will come up with a character and take like an aspect of them. Like, I think for Colin, I just watched some fan interviews. For Hook or Killian Jones, it was like a book heartthrob or someone else, and you have to come up with a character who has those same qualities. And I can't really do my books because we are going out of town, so I have it all written down here, and I would like to tag between book pages, which is also Maureen Kiwi. I wrote some of these down from Tumblr. Vincent Van Stop, Lala Lauren 1000, Sarah Ella, A Basket Casey Reads. I think that's your username. She just subscribed to me and I subscribed to her. I've been loving her videos. I watch them all. I'll put a link to her channel in the doodly-doo so you can find it and love it as much as I do. The Rita Rick Flieger, who we're probably not close enough yet to be called friends, but if I were to call anyone my friend, it would be him so far yet. Him and my friend Tody Helen, who has been there from the get-go. So without further ado, let's get started. Our first character is Regina, the villain that deserves a happy ending. So I had a very much trouble thinking of an answer to this because I wanted something that other people could identify with, but then I was thinking all the characters that I think do deserve a happy ending, they can't really be counted as villains. Like, they're bad, but it's not like they're the villain of the story. Like, President Snow is a villain. But, so I guess this is the only answer I could come up with. I said Warner from the Shatter Me series. He is such a kind, really, if you get down to his core, I always say like he's like a gobstopper where you have to like go through the layers and layers and layers to find the sweet inside. My second one is Snow White, a good character that has made their fair share of mistakes as they go. I thought of so many here, but there was like other places that I could put them, so I'm going to go with Lena from any of them. Lena, there's 3 books of Lena, but only 2 with the Lena. So Lena from the Beautiful Creatures. I almost said The Darkest Minds. I didn't get sleep at all last night, and we're about to go on a trip, so don't judge me. And Lena from them, and then Lena from Delirium, who I was kind of thinking of because Lena from Delirium, she like gets herself into all this stuff that she really doesn't need to, and she kind of gets a little annoying as the books go on. My next character is probably my second favorite Once Upon a Time character, and that is Charming, a character that was so charming you couldn't stay away if you tried. I guess I could have picked someone else because I had to pick someone. I should have switched this. The heartthrob should be Finnick and the nice guy should be Maxon. But I picked Finnick O'Dare because He is so charming that you love him and you cannot get away no matter how hard you tried. He's like a parasite, well, no, like a beautiful parasite that's like taking over your body and you want it to. You want it to. You want Finnick. You want the Finnick package deal. Okay, this is getting really strange. Henry, the character that always seems to get it right or is loved by all. Okay, this is a series that I have not actually read yet. I mean, I've read the first book, but I read it so long ago that I really don't remember what happens. And I've kind of been trying to read it because everybody acts like it's so good. But I've been spoiled so much by what happens in those books that I don't know, which is Will Herondale from the Infernal Devices. Every book reader girl like out there is obsessed with Will Herondale. And I have no gauge. I've seen like Tumblr quotes and things, and he seems pretty on the outside, and I mean, if Christine and Kat like him, he's probably a good bet, but he's loved by all. Jefferson, a character that shocks you with their actions. I picked Magcon Ravenwood from Beautiful Creatures. I was going to say the Beautiful Creatures series, but there's a spoiler that happens that I'm not going to say. Unless you want to know, then I may put a comment or something. And I just that's one of the reasons why I love the first book, because Magcon Ravenwood, I may be saying his name completely wrong, but that's how it is in my head. You know how Christine is Peta and Petra? Well, he's Magcon in my head. Well, Magcon is he just did outlandish things and you were just cracking up. It kind of reminded me of a mix of Gibbs and Longmire. Gibbs is from that NCIS, and Longmire is from the show Longmire. And I just found him so entertaining, and his character choice is so entertaining. Our next character is Elsa, a character who battles something you have trouble with. Okay, I had so many ideas here, but I finally just went with Kath because I am, I can be really hyper and crazy, and if I really get to know you and I really trust you, then I can be a little wild and funny, but I'm pretty shy and pretty almost scared of what people think when I get to know you, and I don't really want to put myself out there. We just had a new kid in youth who I knew he would like the same things that I like, and all my friends were like, you should go talk to him, he was the biggest nerd ever, and I was like, yes, you were awesome, kid. So I kept, I was trying to get myself to go up to him, but I never could, and then I ended up leaving without talking to him. And so I picked Kath from Fangirl because she kind of has those issues, because I have anxiety, which I couldn't think of any book character that deals with anxiety. If there's a book character that deals with anxiety, that is me. That every decision, every thought that goes through my head, it's almost I need that to help me feel better. And it's weird, and I never read a book about that. If you know one, please comment it down below. But it is still what my story is and what I have to deal with. Anna, a character that's so adorable you have to awe. I was thinking of so many people, but I don't want to either spoil or have a book that no one's heard of, or even use the same character more than once. So I chose Cress from Cress and the Lunar Chronicles because she's just adorable all throughout the book, and she's up on the satellite, and I actually audibly awed several times in the books. She really reminds me of if there were a book Anna, who that would be. Kristoff, a side character who is always making me crack up. There are so many side characters that make me laugh, but this is one of the few characters that he's a real side character, but I died. He was one of the reasons why I sticked with the book series, which was Kenji from Shatter Me. And Golde, a villain, or Rumpelstiltskin, a villain you're intrigued by or believe will switch sides. I chose a villain you're intrigued by because I don't really know of any villains, because the way I use the word villain, it's well, what do you define as a villain? If it's a character is not really bad, but they've done some bad things, are they considered a villain? Where does that line get drawn? So I picked President Snow because I'm kind of intrigued by his story and his books. I mean, obviously he's a horrible person, but almost like, what makes Snow do what he has to do? Like, I was watching the Comic-Con interviews, and Bex, who plays the Wicked Witch, was saying, Zelena? She was saying that the best part about playing someone evil is that they usually think that they're being good. And that kind of opened me up to a lot of the book characters, and I'm like, well, is he really a villain? But I can't imagine President Snow, like, what would he use to validate what he had to say? Because, like, Zelena feels like she's been hurt by her parents, and she grew up with an alcoholic father and a mother who abandoned her, so she feels like one person got the life that she should have had instead. And then to me, see, who did I just do? Golde. Ruby, who I am, well, actually the Red Riding Hood version of Ruby, a character who is feared / hated that should not be. Or, okay, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but America Singer. Okay, America Singer can be a little bit annoying. She's not the best protagonist in the world, but I just hate how people constantly rag on the books and stuff because they're like, oh, America's indecisive. Well, at least America has character flaws. And, like, that's so real. Like, I almost picked America instead of Kath as my... Like, I mean, do you know people that are indecisive? Pretty much everybody either is the indecisive person or knows someone who's indecisive. So, it's like, do you want to read books that are real, almost? That have characters that are almost real and not, like, perfect boys and perfect girls? And you can't complain about Mary Sue's if you're going to constantly talk about America being, I just forgot the word. My brain is too sporadic right now. And I know I keep saying that in these videos, but it's because I only really get the energy, kind of, to film them at weird times because it's summer. So, or like, my brain may not be with my body because I don't want to look like horrible in videos, so I at least try to get ready or something. Emma Swan, a stubborn character, a character who does most of the saving. I did a character who does most of the saving. I mean, he is stubborn, but Percy Jackson, in, like, the later books, he kind of has, like, a hero's complex in a way where he almost doesn't want to let other people save them. Like, he has a problem with that, which, I mean, it could be good or bad, depending on how you look at it. And I think he, like, enjoys it so much that he feels like he needs to be the person that saves everybody that he started to do that. Peter Pan, which the Peter Pan storyline has been my favorite of all the Once Upon a Time storylines. And I am an avid fan. Like, I literally just rewatched season 3 for, like, the 5th time. And what did I say about Peter Pan? A villain who is intriguing and you don't know what's coming next. Okay, this is, like, an odd one. I don't think anyone else has picked this ever. I mean, no one's done this tag, but the aliens from the 5th wave. Like, if you think about it, all through the book, they're just, like, doing all kinds of stuff that you have no idea and you're surprised by. And I was constantly in my head, I was like, yeah, the aliens have done these terrible things, but are almost like the host. Are the aliens really the bad guys, or are we just seeing it through our vision? And, I mean, they did do a lot of horrible things, but it was like, you never knew. All throughout the book, I was like, what are these aliens going to do next? Okay. Wendy, a gullible character. My gullible character is 4 because of a scene that happens in Allegiant that, like, causes a chain reaction of things that really shouldn't have even happened. And if he would have just not listened to someone, it wouldn't have. And I don't want to spoil, because that book is probably mostly spoiled, so if you just, he's almost infuriating in Allegiant. I love 4, but Neil, a character who has to overcome their past. I picked a character that is not really well known by a lot of the booktube world, but I absolutely love her book series, which is The Lion Game. And her name is Emma Mercer, and I don't want to give too much away, but she is not Emma Mercer in the story. She is someone else, but still herself. And she has to figure out who she is with her, or who she is becoming and who she's going to be, and the relationships that she had, because those people don't know that she's actually Emma Mercer. I'm pretty sure her last name is Mercer. I wasn't sure. I read those books forever ago. And I need to reread them so much. They're such great stories. They'll give you the creeps. I have been eternally terrified of Hello Kitty ever since. Just read them. I don't want to spoil it because there's so much good in it. Okay, Killian. Oh, Killian. A character who is on the verge of being evil but is consistently good / a book heartthrob. So, I kind of did both because this character has about every chance he could get to be evil. And, I mean, I wouldn't call him a heartthrob, but he's kind of one of those guys that most girls like. I just realized that I have, like, no fantasy books on here, and I'm not really sure why, because I love fantasy. But it's Maxon. This, Belle, could take forever. Belle is, when Ruby left, my favorites were Snow, Charming, and Belle. But, like, every time I do a Once Upon a Time quiz, or, like, I look at their personalities or something, everyone always says, like, you have the same personality as Belle in real life. So I kind of am partial to her. But I said a fellow reader / a naive character, she's kind of naive, or a character who sees good in everyone. I chose Annabeth Chase, and I think I went with a fellow reader because Annabeth, I'm not sure she sees good in everyone. I think she sees the ability of good in everyone, but I don't think she's one of those blind people that's like, everyone is great and everyone should just run through the roses. Even President Snow has some good inside of him. No, he doesn't. And last but not least, Grace, a childlike, innocent character. And I chose Elizabeth from the Gallagher Girls series, or we call her Liz all the time. But not really innocent, but they're all like spies killing people and stuff, and she's like, oh, did you guys get the calculus test? I got the new computer. Like, she was more of a smaller, frail, like, computer geek, and I love her. So I hope you enjoyed my tag, and all the people who I did tag, I hope to see your video up soon. I hope this made sense because I literally got no sleep the night before. And I will see you guys soon. I hope you like my outfit. I don't know if this is dotted, but here. I guess I can show you. Don't lift it up. If you want to know more about Planet Comic Con, I believe I have videos about our experiences. I didn't get to vlog, but I have pictures and I have videos. So tell me if you want me to make like more like a vlog video about that, or what you want me to do. I guess I already outroed. I will see you soon. Goodbye.